Driving a 2007 Honda Odyssey, drive started blinking right there and the transmission is kicking really hard to change gears, and the check engine light came on immediately when this started to happen. I'm gonna scan this vehicle and see what we can find here. Scanning the vehicle here, we have a bunch of codes like catalytic converter codes, some codes for communication issues. Don't know if this is part of the problem, but for now I'm gonna put this aside and I'm gonna jump to scan the transmission. Scanning the transmission here, and here it goes. We have clutch pressure control solenoid valve A, open or short. And I'm gonna focus with this transmission code first before dealing with any other codes here. P0962, I'm gonna focus on this one first before dealing with the rest of the stuff here. U0122, and we have U0028. So these are communication problems, communication issues, but as I said, I'm gonna focus first on the clutch pressure control solenoid valve A. So I'm gonna test the clutch pressure control solenoid valve and the transmission now. To access the valve, we have to remove the battery first, 10mm nuts. 10mm bolts for the battery tray. 12mm bolts here and another one here. Jack up the vehicle to access the two 12mm bolts in the bottom for the battery tray. Also, I'm using a very strong jack stand here. Remove this bolt first. Let's remove the other one here. And I forgot this 10mm bolt here on top of the battery tray here. Unclip some wire harness from the battery tray and then remove it. Alright, these are the valve here, A and B. This one here with the black connector on top is valve A, and this one here in the bottom with the brown connector is valve B. And this valve A, pin number 1 is the red one, which is positive. And to test this valve, you don't need to take it out, you can test it here. I can see that the ground wire is broken, totally broken. This might be the problem here. So I'm gonna fix these wires, but I'm still gonna test the valve. I'm not gonna make it to this point without testing the valve. And also I'll see if the valve is receiving 12 volts. But I got the feeling that the problem is going to be on the wires here, but let's see. Also, I have noticed here that there is a bracket here for the battery. It is very well stuck. Don't know if this was the cause of the problem. This cut the wires, I don't know. They recently replaced the battery. I can see that the battery is kind of new. The wires cannot be cut just like that, so we're gonna see that. Also, the red wire is damaged. I can see the insulation is so cracked. Don't know if the wire is still making contact, but it seems like it's hanging just in a little bit. So I will have to fix these two wires, and probably that bracket for the battery is the one that damaged these wires. Alright, I'm gonna do the first test on the valve A, because there are two tests to be done on this valve in order to determine if it's good or bad. Remember, pin 1 is the red one and pin 2 is the black one, which is ground. I inserted two wires on the pins, two female wires, to make it easy for me to do the test. My multimeter leads here with small alligators to make things easier for me. Let's connect the ground side first. And now the positive side. If my multimeter gives me a reading between 3 and 10 ohms, then this valve is going to pass the first test. So let's see it. And we got 5.3 ohms, so this valve has passed the first test. A closer look here, 5.2 ohms as you can see. So definitely this valve has passed the first test. Now let's apply 12 volts to the valve and see if the valve actuates, it makes an operation sound. And I have already connected my 12 volt tester here on the battery. Make sure the battery is well charged. And here is my tester, very simple tester, not fancy at all. Also has a ground attached to it, so it makes things very easy for me to do the test. See the two wires here? Alright, when applying 12 volts to the valve, if the valve is good, it's gonna make an operation sound. That means the valve is going up and down, the valve is actuating, and the operation sound is kind of loud, so we're gonna see that. Remember, ground is pin number 2. Now let's apply 12 volts to the positive side and see what happens. I'm pretty sure you guys heard the operation sound, so this valve has passed the second test too. So I have no doubt at this point that the problems are the wires and not the valve. So I'm gonna fix these connections here by adding two pieces of wires and the two original wires here because they are too short. since they were broken, and then I'm gonna be checking if the valve is receiving 12 volts. Also, I'll be leaving the wire diagram and some other instructions from the Honda software in case if you have problems in the wires or in the PCM, something like that. So everything is going to be at the end of this video. Alright, after fixing the wires, I'm gonna see if the valve is receiving 12 volts. I have my multimeter leads right there, and I have put a little bit of electrical tape on each one just to hold them with the wires together. And I have a battery here with jumper cables, and I have connected the jumper cables to the cables on the battery here, since I cannot connect the battery because I'm working here. So I have to apply power through the entire vehicle to have power when I open the ignition switch. My multimeter, as I said, is in the windshield so I can see better from the inside of the vehicle. The voltage gets there for 1 second and then it disappears. That's how it works at the beginning. Let's see, I'm gonna open the ignition switch. It's 0 on my multimeter. Let's see. And there it goes. We have some voltage, 10 volts, because the battery is kind of weak here. Let's open the ignition switch again. And there it goes. We have 10 volts. One more time. There it goes. We have voltage. Alright, now I know that the valve is also receiving 12 volts, so I have connector already. The connector is good, the wires are good, and the valve is good. So let's see if we can fix this transmission shifting problem. Alright, test driving this vehicle right now, and the drive stopped blinking immediately when I started driving the vehicle. Also, the check engine light went away immediately too. And this is a great news for the owner of the vehicle because he just told me that he had gone to the transmission shop and they wanted $3,000 to rebuild this transmission. And the problem was not the transmission at all. As you can see, the problems were on the wires. So I'm glad I fixed this vehicle only by fixing the wires in this case and the connector also. So the owner of the vehicle did not have to spend $3,000 rebuilding the transmission. Alright, after a little while, I have scanned the vehicle, not shown on camera, but the PCM and also the transmission are clean, no cuts. All the cuts went away, so it's incredible that one thing can cause so many issues, so many cuts. So all the bunch of cuts were there because of the wires were damaged, so everything is good now. Thanks for watching and stay blessed.